2016, Gavin Newsom's talking head group that's going to do the legalization effort, which will probably make medical marijuana more restricted, right? If patients aren't allowed in the room. So far, Gavin Newsom's board is mostly just talking heads and nobody with direct patient knowledge, experience, etc. So that's the state level and the national level. And again, on the national level, we need to start making calls to our state senators to approve the DEA getting out of the medical cannabis states, and I don't think we should be complicit in that. I don't think we should just expect Feinstein and Boxer to be like, yeah, we don't want that.
I've written to Feinstein. She says she calls that a drug, so good luck with that.
Well, that means that we need to actually activate activists this week and next week and join Normal's push and pushing our senators, you know, they got to hear from us this week. You know, by next week we need to start getting to the community center and getting on the phones and saying, hey, we want you to support this.
Well, so how do we get in the room with the Korea bill, even though it already, you said it passed the Senate unanimously or something? Unanimously. So it might not pass the House, though.
No, it went through the state Senate. Now it just flips into the Assembly. It goes into, the first committee will be Tom's committee, the Public Safety Committee. We've got to watch and make sure that Tom Amiano doesn't put anything into it that would be harmful, because he's been so backed by the industry and people trying to narrow and push people off the board and prevent patients' rights, which is a really sad thing for Tom Amiano to be doing when so much of the other work he does at the state level is beneficial to poor people's health. What he's doing right now is just flat out evil to poor people's health.
I have a dumb question. It's not a stupid question. It's just a dumb question. How can always pass legislation stating that once a bill is passed a House or the State Assembly, it cannot be altered or modified?
Because laws constantly need to be altered or modified.
No, once it's passed the body, it's already regulated to go to the next body to be signed into law. Once it's passed the body, it should not be altered or regulated.
Yeah, because they didn't approve it in that
Because they voted down in the opposite house if they had no insight on input on it. Why would you bother to pass it when you have no input on it?
Well, I think what happens is it goes from the state Senate into the Assembly. The committees might add amendments into it, and we need to talk with Lynette Davies, who's sort of the real patient advocate on the ground. Even though she is a club owner with her husband, she tends to be the most progressive patient and grower voice in Sacramento. And I will take the responsibility to check in with Lynette Davies and see how this will move through the Assembly and get back to everyone. I know that right now where it is it's at the Public Safety, and a hearing has not been scheduled as of today, but I will find out when they're going to hear this. And I think it may just go from Public Safety right onto the Assembly floor for a vote. I don't know if it's scheduled to visit any other committees. So foreseeably, this could happen within a month or two. I don't know when the summer recess is, but I'm guessing by September to October, Korea's bill will be law. And the reason that I feel that way is that it passed the state Senate unanimously.
Well, the thing is, Australia, you can grow 2 plants, it's just a $50 fine. You're better off with that, really. You're better off than with all these bozos sitting around in suits drinking way too much coffee and drinking too much gin or whatever they're drinking, because they don't have, their reasoning ability is shot.
I agree. And I think the scariest thing, and the thing that everybody has to remember about the Korea bill, is the 3 key words: provide, grow, and process. So that means kitchens, that means trim houses, that means people that are making concentrates, tinctures, etc. Everything is
so
under
what, they
that
gonna put us all in jail for it? They have to build new jails for that.
Oh, I know. I think what they're looking for, Denise, to be honest with you, what they're looking for is the large warehouse grows that won't come into compliance. They want to target those guys,
Imagine there's a lot of them.
and this is California. There
So
are
somebody
so
wants to
many
grow-
grows just probably in the next 3-block radius from where we are right
Exactly.
now. There are so many grows that would need to register.
What if somebody wants to grow 2 plants on their windowsill?
They're not gonna care.
And probably one of
They're
them's
not.
illegally wired into the
That's
city
personal,
hall.
and then,
Power grid.
It's
So,
personal,
Denise?
It's not for production, Denise, that's why. They're
Denise,
looking at production people. People who are selling
again,
their-
I'll go back. The differences
I know, I
between,
heard
no,
that.
You
no,
can grow
no,
your own
no,
food.
you guys,
Right.
listen, please, to I wanna clearly
must have been
define
in the
this for
bathroom.
patients. In Amiano's bill, it did not keep Prop 215, primary caregiver, or it did not keep the SB 420's ability for patients to collectively grow. So in Korea's bill, it does. It keeps, but complying with that, there's not gonna be the same gray room that there has been for from like small, medium to medium, large grows are gonna have to register. But your 2 plants in the window is not gonna do anything. And personally, California law enforcement is not targeting the patient grower. That's not who they're looking at. They're looking at people in large production. So you don't have to worry along those lines. You have to worry along the lines of, if you really like this strain, it's grown in a warehouse, who knows where, are they going to register, and is that strain going to be available at your favorite pharmacy?
That's it, huh?
That's where we get into the sticky icky and where it could affect us.
Are they trying to say that by doing this, they're going to guarantee that if I walk in, let's say by White Widow in one place, which I've always loved, that if I walk down the street and buy it there, it's gonna be the same potency, same strain, same quality?
No, that can never be guaranteed. That's like
Well,
saying, can
yeah,
I buy
you have to
this
check every
apple
batch
at the
out.
same Safeway?
Right,
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah.
basically gonna guarantee that none of it's disappearing without being sold.
Too much, okay.
That's basically what
Right,
they're
and they're
If
gonna
they're
make
trying to-
sure that it's not gonna go to Alabama and to Georgia out the back door, and people aren't gonna be able to supplement their income by
Right.
selling to other states from their warehouse grows.
So I guess more what I was asking is, I mean, you have great apples.
The Korea bill down is, if you are a seller and you're growing, they want to know and keep track of your products. If you do it in private use, continue to do it on your own.
Private use within reason, and that
Yeah,
means
basically,
private
like,
use.
couple plants, yeah, private use, yeah.
That means staying, like in San Francisco, each patient can grow 24 plants for themselves. You're not gonna have a problem with local, state, or anybody's.
Hi, so we have the room at 1:30, just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure.
We'll be out of here.
Great,
Thanks.
thank you.
So then, the local stuff, I guess we can get into,
San Jose 5 to 5, vote next week.
yeah, but I mean, our real local stuff. So just real quickly, I'm gonna be turning in our petitions and the appeal tomorrow to, Norman D's office and et cetera. The lawyer for, Bach did file the appeal. I've got it, but it's really hard to read, so I'm gonna go through and have that for folks to read, and maybe we can finish the local update before bingo tomorrow. But I'm glad we at least got to the state update, and one thing I'd like to put into people's minds is, remember our project a couple of months ago where we put in all of this input for the planning department on how the local laws can change? Notice that's not going anywhere, so I think we need to ask David and David, while they're running against each other, to start working on some medical cannabis legislation for San Francisco, and we're gonna have,
It's a good time to get some stuff done with them.
exactly, you feel me? If you're gonna be running
Totally
against
feel
each
ya.
other for the next 5 months, you're gonna be running for us.
Oh, you wanna go across the hall?